got, this is our basic sagging zone coverage, and you'll notice we've got a right defenseman hard on the puck. Centerman is supporting that defenseman. We start him off at the near post, and then from there he can read and react, and his basic job is to support that defenseman. Then we've got our left defenseman on the rear post, or weak side post, and he's the one, basically he goes there as his position set up, and then he's got his head on a swivel, looking for anybody who may be trying to sneak in on the back door. We've got our strong side winger covering the point, and our weak side winger is the sag man, and we call him the sag man because he sags low down into the low slot, and he's basically an emergency man. So if any disaster happens, he's going to help clear guys out from the front of the net. He's also going to watch for this defenseman to sneak in behind. He's kind of an emergency man, sag man. That's what we call him. So that's our basic setup. And for this demonstration, let's just assume that our right defenseman went in, read the play. The other player, maybe the other player was bobbling the puck a little bit, so the right defenseman went in, laid a good hit on him, knocked that player down, and now our right defenseman has come up with the puck. Okay, so in our other example, we had the centerman swing in and pick up the puck, and the centerman initiated the breakout. That can happen as well. Just depends on the game situation. So sometimes different things happen at different times. So for this particular demonstration, we're just going to assume that the right defenseman has the puck, and he's going to initiate the breakout. Now, I mentioned it in our other video, but I want to mention it again. If you haven't watched our video on initiating a hockey breakout, make sure you watch that. There are a few tactics and a few good things that we talk about in that video that really kind of lay a good groundwork for for when you start putting down your X's and O's and talking about positioning. So go watch that initiating a hockey breakout video. I'll put a link to it with this one, and then come back and finish watching this one. So right defenseman gets the puck. He's going to immediately start skating towards the quiet zone. That's where all of our breakouts initiate from. Now from there he'll read the pressure. Depending on where the pressure is, he may skate it all the way around the back of the net and break out from the weak side, or he may misdirect. Just depends on the situation. So let's assume on this one that as soon as that turnover happened, this guy fell down in the corner. Let's say that this winger decided to put some pressure on this defenseman, and he's coming down from an angle onto this guy's inside shoulder. Okay, so as we learned in the initiating the breakout video, if the pressure's on your inside shoulder, then it's a good play to misdirect. So the defenseman will misdirect, and now he can initiate the breakout from from that positioning there. Now here's what's happening with the other players as they see this happening. Okay, so our right winger, let's start with him. Our right winger sees that the turnover happened. He was about here, maybe up a little bit higher. As he sees that the turnover happens, here's what he's going to do. And this is one scenario where I actually really like to do the top-down breakout as opposed to the bottom-up. So a lot of coaches, they like their winger to come down, make a nice low swoop, and then come back up the sideboards. That can work, depending on the situation, but I found that doing it this way, especially from a strong side breakout, leaves you very open to a vulnerable, or leaves you very vulnerable and open to a pinch if this defenseman reads the play properly, which at higher levels of play they often do. So this leaves you open for a pinch. That guy can get a really good head of steam going, and as soon as you touch the puck, you're getting hit. So what I actually like to do, and this has worked really well for me, again, I always give a little disclaimer, different teams work well with different formations, so this may or may not work for you, but I like to do the top down. So I like to have this guy, he's already in his position covering that defenseman. As he sees the turnover start to happen, he's going to be ready, and as he sees his defenseman make that misdirection and open up to give a pass, he's going to just take 3 or 4 steps in, and that basically just distances himself a little bit from that defenseman so that he has enough room to receive the pass. And also it's a lot harder to pinch when you're chasing a guy from behind than if you can see the whole play opening up and you get a good head of steam going. So this kind of eliminates the pinch coming from the top down. So he's going to open up, that's going to be your board side option, and then the centerman, as this play is developing, the centerman is going to be shadowing. So the centerman's always supporting the strong side defenseman, the puck. He's supporting the puck-carrying defenseman. So as he sees the turnover happening, the centerman is going to come out, and he's going to skate this way. Okay? So if the play develops where the defenseman continues on behind the net, the centerman just continues shadowing along the front side of the net, but slightly behind that defenseman. That's how the timing is going to work out with this particular breakout. But in this case, our defenseman misdirected. So the centerman is going to be turning, shadowing, and then as he sees the misdirection happening, and I'm going to overlap a few of these lines here, but that's okay. As he sees the misdirection happen, he misdirects towards the defenseman, so he's never taken his eye off his defenseman, and then he's going to open up and provide a middle side or a middle option for that breakout. So this is what it'll look like. As he sees the misdirection happening, he misdirects too, again slightly behind the play so that he can always see the defenseman's numbers. That's where the timing's going to work out, and then he can open up into a middle option. So I know this looks like a lot of squigglies, a lot of overlapping lines, but it's not that complex. Basically, the winger provides a board side option, centerman shadows, and then provides a middle option after the defenseman determines which way it's going to go. So everything depends on which way the defenseman goes and what he does with the puck. So from here, in this example, you have a board side breakout and a middle breakout option. And that's where the play can progress to. Now, depending on how it works out, like I said, watch the initiating breakout video, but if maybe the defenseman skates it from one side of the ice to the other, that's okay. Then this winger comes up, swoops down, and he's the board side option. Centerman just shadows and provides a middle support option for that middle breakout. So there's a lot of different ways that a breakout can occur from this setup. I wanted to talk about the weak side winger. Weak side winger watches the play develop, and he needs to read, anticipate, and react, but he has to do it correctly. It's really important that he doesn't blow out of the zone too early, but basically as he sees that the play is developing and he sees that it's a definite thing that our team is going to get the puck and get a good breakout, then he is going to explode out of the zone and cut across the ice for a breakaway option. And we talk a little bit more about cutting through the lanes in our video about lanes. It's a short one, so make sure you go check that out. And so basically what can happen is it can go, maybe goes winger to one-touch pass the centerman, and then a little one-touch pass up to the breakaway man, which can work, or it can go straight to the centerman and then up to the breakaway man.